welcome back to Infamous Sports Talk, episode 4. I'm gonna be writing this episode out solo, but that's alright. We got this. We're all gonna come together as a big unit. And we're gonna have an absolute outstanding fucking show for you here tonight. There wasn't a whole lot that happened in sports today, really, or really anything besides basketball, and I covered most NBA stuff yesterday. If you want to check that out, it's on the Infamous NBA channel, link in the description. But I dug through the internet. I found a few things that are happening. One of them being the draft lottery happening tomorrow night. You can see the thumbnail right in front of you here. It's big and bold. It has Chet Holmgren being a bust, not top five. We'll go over that. I'm not sure any of this is going to be true, but I need something for the title. I need something that the people are going to click on. So if you're here because you clicked on it, I appreciate it, but you can leave now if that's all you care about, because I don't really know if he's a bust. Is he not top five? I don't know. Let's see. We'll go over it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in to our draft lottery odds for tomorrow, which is pretty much the biggest thing happening in sports. There's basketball happening, but that hasn't happened yet. Can't really go over it. Get in the text. Yeah, let me just mute this so I don't, keep getting this bullshit. It's okay. You know what happens? Live show, live TV. Shit happens, so, we've all seen it. The current odds. We take a look at the odds. We have the Houston at the top. They were shit. Orlando, Detroit, OKC, Indiana. Just the bottom of the barrel teams. The Lakers are down here. That's unfortunate. Do they even have the first round pick? I don't think so. Didn't they trade it for like Russ or something? They're a bunch of fucking buffoons down there in LA. But yeah, some bottom of the barrel teams you'd expect to be down here. Houston, not very good. They got some young talent trying to build on that. We'll see what they can do. Number one pick would definitely help. Orlando is always they're just a shitty team. They're just like always kind of bad. Even when they're not terrible, they're like an 8 seed and they get swept in the first round. So they've just been pretty poverty for many years. And then Detroit, kind of the same thing. OKC, they've completely tried to rebuild. They're just collecting picks, and this is what they're building for is the draft. So they need to hit their picks to get back to prominence. We'll see what they can do. Indiana had a rebuild year. They got Halliburton, fleeced them my Kings. Sabonis is cool. Halliburton was just kind of that guy, but I'm not mad. It's okay. We'll see what Sabonis can do next year with Fox. We'll probably be poverty again like we have for the past 16 years, but you never know. Maybe something crazy will happen. Probably not. And then you have my Kings, sitting there at what is that? Is that the seventh best odds? Seventh. I could cross my fingers and pray that we get a number one pick or top three. Is it gonna happen? No, probably not. If anything, we'll fall and just be behind like the Spurs and shit, which was just typical Kings fashion. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really give a shit about. We'll see what happens, but it's not as cool as NFL draft. It's still a thing that happens, but can't be too excited about a lottery. My Kings are always there, so maybe I should be excited. Like, this is my Super Bowl. Like, for my Kings, this is like the biggest day of the year tomorrow. Like, this is what we thrive for. This is what we wait 365 days for. Is this day? So maybe I should be a little bit more pumped, but I just don't give a shit because I know how ass we are. But we'd take a look at some of the top players that we could look forward to in this draft. We got, of course, Holmgren from Gonzaga. He's a 7-foot skinny freak who can do pretty much everything. He could be a really great player, but I also see him being not the greatest. I could see him. I don't. He's just so fucking weird. He's like a 7-foot tall, skinny, weird, really young looking white dude. He's like that Alexi put whatever the fuck on the Thunder, but like with talent, I guess. I don't know what to think about him. But if he pans out to what he could be, he could be an absolute stud. So what am I saying? Jabari Smith's probably my favorite player in this draft. What I like doing a lot in NFL and mostly NBA, but a little bit NFL, is I like the names. If you look at a name and you can just be like, oh, that's a fucking name. Usually they're gonna be all right. Chet Holmgren to me is all like that's not a fucking name. That's just I don't know how to feel about that. Chet Holmgren. It just kind of it doesn't feel it feels a little icky to say, which I'm not a big fan of. Jabari Smith though, you say that just rolls off the tongue. You're introducing your starting power forward in the All Star game, Jabari Smith. That sounds right. I'm sorry, but that if that guy's gonna be the best player in the draft, and sue me if he's not, because I don't really know. I don't watch college basketball. Shoot me. I'm hands up. Hands are up. I'm not an avid college basketball watcher. I do apologize. I just can't stand to watch a 19-year-old kid shoot bricks for 40 minutes, and that's on me. The tournament is cool though. The tournament is cool. Paulo Banquero from Duke. You know, a lot of people are like this kid, the blue blood. I mean, he could be a star. Jaden Ivey is another name I like. I like the name Jaden Ivey. It has something that's unique. Shade the Sharp guy, I'm not. I don't like that name. I'm not a big fan. Keegan Murray is interesting name. I mean, he's averaged 26 points and 9 rebounds. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, 2 blocks, a steal and a half. Is this guy not the best player of all time? Can I take a deeper dive here? Weaknesses: his age. Who gives a fuck? His defensive win shares. Okay, so he can't play defense, but he can do literally everything. But he averages a steal and a half in college. Am I missing something with this kid? Is this guy not just the next big thing? I mean, 20 years old. I mean, what? He's 21, about to be 22. Dude, who gives a fuck, dude? Give me this kid on the Kings. I don't know, power forward. Yeah, we'll take him. If I was a kid, speaking as a Kings fan, which I know is kind of depressing, but I mean, give me Keegan. What the hell just happened to my screen? Apologies, apologies, apologies. Okay, I think we're back. Are we back? Let me just take a double time peek here. We're back. Okay, apologies. Holy shit. PC's having a bit of problems. It's having a bit of problems right now. We're in a bit of a turbulence. You know when you're in the plane and it starts shaking, you're like, holy shit, I'm about to die, but then everything pans out. We're in that moment right now of the stream. Everyone relax. We're gonna get through this. It's just a bit of turbulence. Listen, once we get past this little okay, I think we're good. The turbulence is past. We're in the clear. Everyone take a big deep breath. We're good. We're in the clear. There's no stormy clouds ahead. It was unfortunate, but we're back. Okay, here we go. Where was I? I was talking about the Kings. You're right. Getting back to my mock draft. As I was saying, as a Kings fan, which I know, like I said, is depressing. So I don't think about it for too long, but if you were a Kings fan, which I am, which I know, like I said, is depressing, they're shit. I want Jabari Smith, and I want Keegan Murray and Jaden Ivey. If I get one of those three, I don't care about the fits. The fucking doesn't matter about the fits for the Kings. They need a fit everywhere. They suck ass. 16 years without making the playoffs, which is, I mean, honestly, that's more impressive than making the playoffs for 16 years. To miss it 16 years, think about how bad you gotta be. Just how poverty, shit, and just shit you gotta be. I mean, half the teams make it. Now there's a play-in. They can even make the fucking play-in. I mean, they even tried this year. They tried. They trade for a better player now, and they're just the fucking shits. I'm done talking about the Kings. They have us getting AJ Griffin. I mean, that's a good name. I don't hate that name. He's a young guy, the youngest person I see currently. So yeah, whatever. I don't care. Benedict. I hate that name. Stay away from Benedict and Mathurin. Whoever the fuck this guy is, stay away. Automatic bust off names. Dyson Daniels. Okay. Is there anyone here I know that's like kind of like lower, or I just like know for some reason? A lot of foreign names. That's interesting. This is that Dang? Is he related to Luau Dang? Not Luau Dang. What's the other Dang? Gorgie Dang. Is he related to Gorgie Dang? He could be. Is Gorgie Dang from New Zealand? I'm not sure. But that's an international guy. 16th overall mock draft. We'll see. Nikolai Jovic. Interesting. Very similar to Jokic. I mean, if you just switched the C, let me make sure. Jokic, Jociik. No, I was gonna say if you switch the V and the C, you'd have Jokic. That is in fact not the case. There is no V in Jokic. Apologies. Patrick Baldwin Jr. Isn't there already a Patrick Baldwin Jr. in the league? See, now I have to look it up because now I don't know, and now I gotta look it up. It's gonna bug me. Patrick Baldwin Jr. Is he not in the league? Milwaukee? Guard. Wait, what? Milwaukee Panthers. Is this guy from Milwaukee? He is. What the fuck kind of school did this guy go to? Yeah, no, is there not a Patrick Baldwin in the league? There's someone very similar to that name, and I feel like every junior. Before I say this, let me think. Yeah. Mm, no. I felt like every junior's kind of ass. Um, there's a couple exceptions. Jaron Jackson Jr.'s okay. Wendell Carter Jr. Is he a junior? Wendell Carter Jr. Yeah, that sounds right. Is there any good juniors in the league? It's a good question. I'm not thinking of any that are just absolute names. Junior. No. Mm-mm. I don't think I'm missing any. Derek Jones Jr. Yeah, Patrick Baldwin Jr. would end up being like a nice, solid role player that would be out of the league in like 6 years. But it's a good to get. But just the junior, I don't like that. Wendell Moore, I like it. Jaden Hardy's a great fucking name. That's a great value for the end of the first round. And he's a G Leaguer, averaging 19 points. I do like the Jaden Hardy pick. Um, Hopefully he falls to the next Kings pick at 37. Trevor Keels, I hate that fucking name. Duke kid. I mean, I do like my Duke guys. I like my Blue Bloods, but stay away from that name if you can. Is there any other steals on here that I see? How many picks do the Kings have? We got fucking three of them bitches. Yannick and I don't like drafting foreign players who aren't like absolute stud. Like this guy averaged 7'6" and what the fuck? Please don't fucking get Yannick and what the fuck are we thinking? Look at how many negatives he has. I mean, he's got a fucking red spreadsheet on the everywhere you look from Conga. Is he gonna be the first ever Congo player ever? Draft age and doesn't turn the ball over? That's such a Kings pick. I don't even give a fuck. We're not gonna hit an 8 second round pick. They'll just be out and in the league and before you blink your eyes. I don't even care. Why do I even don't even I'm not even looking. Anyone forfeited? Oh yeah. Michael Foster Jr. Oh, Michael Porter Jr. He's pretty good. See, I was thinking of while he was injured, he didn't come to my mind right away, but Michael Porter Jr. is a good junior. So, back to Patrick Baldwin for a second, he could pan out, but still, that's one junior. I mean, Jaron, if you're a big Jaron guy, I mean, there's two juniors, I guess, that are like pretty solid. Is there any other fucking juniors? Now I just forgot that I forgot about him. Fuck. Any other juniors out there? I don't know. No. Well, I think Michael Porter is the best junior ever. Who's the best junior? I'm not doing this shit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I was gonna sit there and think about it. I don't give a fuck. We'll do a bit of a. Why don't we do a mock draft? Is that sim lottery? What is it? Where? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, the Kings fall in two spots. Yeah, it would be fitting. It would be fucking fitting. Then we get a center, Jalen Duren from Memphis, who looks like an absolute stud. I don't even. I don't know. Let me do it again. Let me do it 3 times. Maybe the third time's the charm. Second time, do the Kings get it? Oh my God, the Kings at 3 get Paulo. Or how do you? Is it Paulo? I'm just gonna say Banchero because that's easier. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we suck. We got Bagley. That's so sad. Picking Bagley over Luca, over Trey, just over pretty much every single person behind that. Sorry, big fucking mistake. Third time's the charm. The Kings. See. You know, I like the number 1, but I don't want to get this big, lengthy, weird-looking fuck with a weird name. Give me like a Jabari Smith. I don't know. I mean, if we got him and he was a stud, then fuck it. I'm an idiot, but I don't know. It's just weird. But that's enough NBA draft lottery talk. I mean, sorry if you came for analysts and expert and what was I gonna say? Expert analysts and what's the P word? P. Expert analysis and something with a P. I can't think of it. I'm sorry. I left you guys hanging, but I don't know. Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith, and who's my other guy? Jaden Ivey. That's my top 3. So you could put Helgerman and all the other fucks behind him. Is he a bust? We'll find out. Moving on. NFL schedules came out this past Thursday, I think it was. I couldn't really find anywhere to look at like, does this work? Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. Is this? Oh, this is fun. Okay, we'll go over the primetime games and we'll see where we go from there. So the first Thursday Night Football game, which is now on Prime Video, which is interesting to see how that's gonna work out. The commentary team is. Oh fuck. Is it? Oh come on. Yeah, it's Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, I think, are on Prime, right? ESPN is Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. NBC is Collinsworth and Tirico. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right. I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm not questioning myself. Chargers Chiefs. That's a great way to start it off. They're trying to really build up Thursday Night Football now. It was kind of slacking. It was like the game where just like you throw two teams up there, they're kind of mid slash shit, and just like who the fuck cares? Now they're trying to build it up with this new massive Prime deal, so that's cool. Week 3, Steelers Browns. A classic divisional matchup. Must watch TV. Helmets might be thrown around. Quarterbacks might be injured. It's gonna be a good watch. Tua versus Burrow. That's a cool game. I there's a lot of cool games. Colts and Broncos is a good game. Washington Bears. I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit of a step down from the first four or first three, but yeah, it's kind of shit to be honest. Wentz and I think the Bears are fucking ass. They lost and didn't gain, and their team is just a shit show if you really take a look at it. That might be the worst roster in the league. I don't know if we want to get into that today. We'll see, but that team is a fucking abysmal. Saints Cardinals, that's cool. I don't hate the Saints and the Cardinals. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Ravens Buccaneers is a good game. Eagles Texans, ooh, that's a stinky one. They threw a shitter in there. They were throwing fastballs. They threw a mean knuckle curve out of nowhere, right to the dirt, 72 miles per hour, and it's the Eagles and the Texans. That's a shame. That's a shame. No disrespect to Davis Mills versus Jalen Hurts. They're gonna go out there and give it their all, but that's probably one I might just stick to the highlights. We'll see. Falcons Panthers. Oh, that's back to back. That's back to back stinky ones. Those are two shit teams. I hate to break it to you. If I have to watch Sam Darnold versus Marcus Mariota, my eyes might bleed. But there's time on that. Titans Packers. There we go. That's a pickup. That's a good pick me up. It's a good game. We'll see how the Titans bounce back, trading away AJ Brown, Traylon Burks. We'll see how all that works out. Bills Patriots. I think the Patriots are gonna take a step back. I don't think they're a playoff team. I'm sorry, Bill, and all the Bill supporters and all the Patriot lovers, but they lost. Didn't really gain a lot. They had a weird draft. I don't see them competing for this division. I think the Bills and Dolphins are kind of a little bit ahead, but whatever. Raiders Rams. It's a fire fucking game. That's a great game. Seahawks Niners. I'm sorry we have to put the Seahawks down like a sick dog, like old Yeller in the backyard, just put a bullet in its head, but they'll be like 1-14 by week 15, so not much to talk about there. Jaguars and Jets. Whew. Oh, well, that's cool because, the top picks from the draft. I don't know if did that happen last year? Did they play each other? I think they did because, like, every shit team played each other last year. It was kind of impressive that every bad team played each other. So they probably did. So rematch. We'll see what Zach Wilson can do in year 2. I think he's a fraud, but maybe he has a big sophomore season. And we close out with Cowboys and Titans. You got to get America's team out there, throw them against the Titans. I think they'll probably win that game. I don't think the Titans are going to be great. I think they're borderline playoff team. I don't know. Thursday Night Football, though, those are some good games. But Sunday Night Football is really where the bread and butter is made. This is like the prime time Sunday night. You're going to school tomorrow. You're going to work the next day. You're fucking opening a couple beers with the boys, clocking together. Maybe you're Stone Cold, what? And you're kicking a couple Coors back, some other lights. This is what football is made for. Sunday night. So this should be some real good shit. I don't want any stinky fucks in this here draft. We kick it off though, of course, which it's not really Sunday night football, but it's like the opening game, so I guess they're counting it. Who the fuck knows? Bills Rams. That might be the Super Bowl match for all we know. Von Miller against his old team, getting that fat stack contract. That's just a lot of money to pay someone who's gonna be like 37 when his deal ends. But I'm not a GM, so what do I know? But that's a good game. The real first football game on my birthday, which is 9/11. That's not a joke. Yes, I was born 9/11, not the year of the tragedy, but the year after. So you're welcome for that bit of knowledge. Buccaneers Cowboys, a rematch of last year's opening game. So they're doing it back to back week ones. I don't know how often that happens between two teams that are in the same division. Not very often, I bet. Bears Packers. I feel like this is always a Sunday night game because of the legacy and the rivalry they got. And the Packers usually stomp them out, which will probably happen again. But it's the Bears Packers. So whatever. Niners Broncos. You know my Niners getting some primetime love going against Russell Wilson's fraud ass and the Broncos. He's not a fraud. He's just a bit of a weird guy. Doesn't make him a fraud. Sorry, Russ supporters. But we're going against the Broncos. That'll be a good game. Hopefully Trey Lance proves everyone by week 3 that he's an MVP form and he's going to be the best quarterback in the NFC West for many years to come. And if Jimmy G starting this game and we're like 1-2, I'm going to be furious. But time will tell. Chiefs Bucks, great game. Don't need to say much there. Bengals Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to have a big bounce back year. I think they had probably the best draft for an already good team. I think the Ravens are going to be back and fully loaded and healthy and might be a sleeper team to make a really deep run this year. I don't know, going against the Bengals. Cowboys Eagles, of course, rivalry. The Eagles, I don't know what to make of them. They got A.J. Brown, so they're probably going to be right there battling with NFC East with the Cowboys, but I'm not sure. Let's move on. Steelers Dolphins. Steelers I don't think are going to be a fun team to watch. I mean, they weren't last year because Big Ben was old and shriveled and on like peg legs and was just the absolute shits. So I mean, whatever they throw out there, if it's Pickett, if it's fucking Trubisky, if it's I don't even know who else they got, but I mean, can't be as bad as it was to watch last year. I mean, that offense last year for the Steelers was like just it was hard to watch. It was actually sad. It was like depressing. It made me depressed watching the Steelers play offense. But we'll see how they look this year against the Dolphins. Packers Bills, outstanding game, Super Bowl matchup possibly. Not much to say. Titans Chiefs, another good game. Chargers Niners, my Niners, getting the home field advantage against the Chargers, against this stacked ass team with Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, Herbert. The list goes on. That's gonna be a hard game to win, but I always believe, we're in Santa Clara, not San Fran. And, I give us a chance to beat anyone, so we'll see how that game goes. Bengals-Steelers, divisional matchup. The Steelers get, 2 of these games? Holy shit. It's a bit of a stretch, no? Patriots-Vikings. Just a lot of mid. I mean, I think the Vikings could be good this year. They got rid of Zimmer, brought in... Is it the O'Connell guy? Kevin O'Connell's got his name. Where is he from? I'm not. It shows how much I fucking know, right? Don't even know the coach. Well, they got him, so... see if they can turn it up. Got rid of Mike Zimmer. Kirk Cousins is back. Jefferson. Well, did they add anyone else that I'm missing? That's just super obvious, like, hello? I'll take a look at their team. You know what? Instead of just sitting here thinking about it, I want to actually take a damn look. Let's go over here to the Vikings and take a look at their roster, see what they are building up here for this next season. Let's look at the depth chart, get a good look. Cousins, of course. Cook, Madison, the great 1-2. Jefferson, Thielen, Osborne, a good receiving core. Irv Smith's a pretty good tight end. I mean, they still use a fullback, and he's actually a pretty good one. Ham. I do apologize for this, but I'm not familiar with a single fucking person on their O-line. But I don't know if they're good, I don't know if they're bad. Usually if I don't know any of their names, it's not the greatest sign, because I do know really good offensive linemen, just decent ones. I don't know a single one of them. So maybe their O-line isn't the greatest. I do apologize for diehard Vikings fans. I don't know that off the dome. But you could let me know. And their defense, they got signed. They drafted him in the last pick, so we'll see what he does. He's a Georgia boy. Patrick Peterson, did they sign him, or was he there last year? See, now I gotta go even deeper. Look at now I'm gonna rattle, because now I gotta keep going deeper and deeper to find out what I'm looking for. Now can I just look at what fucking teams he's played for? Cause is that so hard? Yes, he was a Viking last year, coming back. Is he still good? Is Patrick Peterson still that dude? Don't really know. I know he's not. He can't be that bad if he's still starting, right? They got Zadarius Smith from the Packers. They signed him. That's a good pickup. That's gonna boost the defense. No Hunter's a dog. Eric Hunter's a dog. Harrison Smith, dog. Yeah, I mean their team's not bad. They also got Booth in the second round. I remember that. Yeah, I mean the Vikings aren't bad. I don't know why I just did a deep dive on the Vikings, but we got to fill time somehow, right? Am I right? So yeah, Vikings, Patriots. I'll give the Vikings that game because the Patriots are kind of shit. Packers, Eagles, not bad, not bad. Colts, Cowboys, not bad at all. Chiefs, Broncos. That's a fucking whaler of a game. That's a outstanding game. That's a terrific game. That's a prolific game. Patriots. Get the fucking Patriots off Sunday Night Football. Holy shit. I get it. The lineage, the Patriots, the Bill, the Brady, the six, but the holy shit. Yeah, I mean, do I really have to watch him play back to back with Mac Jones throwing to fucking Nelson Aguilar? I don't know if that's primetime TV, but Bucks, Cards, and Rams, Chargers. Yeah, so Sunday football is what we always is. There's a couple games that are like, but there's mostly really good games. Let's go over to Monday. Who's the Monday night crew? Did I already go over this? Did I forget Monday? Oh, this is Aikman Buck. Yeah, I'm right. Alright, let me take a look here. Where am I? Okay, here we are. Here we are. Kicking it off with, of course, I mean, if the Seahawks are going to have any fucking primetime game this year, let it be this. Monday night to kick it off against Russ against his old team at Seattle. That's going to be a must-watch game, even if it's not going to be a close game because the Seahawks are kind of tanking. It's still must-watch. I mean, against his old team, is he going to get cheered? Probably. I mean, imagine they just go out there and just fucking lay into him, just layers and layers and just unrelentless boos. That'd be fucking electric. What would happen? I'm not sure. Week 2, they have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. They have the usually it's week 1. They're doing a week 2 this time, which is whatever. That's cool. Titans Bills, good game. It's a good game. Vikings Eagles, it's serviceable. It's a serviceable game. Cowboys Giants. Cowboys got to get their like 17 primetime games in the year because they're America's team, and everyone watches them, and it's the fucking Cowboys. Who gives a fuck? Rams Niners divisional matchup rematch of the NFC Championship game, which we should have won, but that stupid fucker dropped a pick. Chakwaski Tark, you piece of shit. It's alright. We'll get our revenge on week 4 on Monday, I believe. Raiders Chiefs. I mean, every divisional matchup in the AFC West is going to be must watch. I mean, those teams are all 4 stacked to the fucking brim. So every one of those games is going to be good. Put any of them on here. I mean, they did back-to-back weeks. Would you look at that? It's almost like I'm a genie. Raiders Chiefs next week, and then another AFC West matchup, Broncos Chargers. Then followed by an absolute shit show between the Bears and the Patriots. A way to come back down to reality. Okay. Bengals Browns. Is Deshaun playing a week 8? You never know. That's a good story. If he is, are the Browns in contention for the playoffs? You never know. Ravens Saints. Okay, in mid game, but it's not terrible. Commanders Eagles. I mean, divisional matchup. Are the Commanders gonna be good? Or is the defense back? Is Wentz back? Probably not, but it's okay. And my Niners again. I mean, we're just farming these fucking games, aren't we? Cardinals, they swept us last year. They're fucking frauds. I don't give a fuck. They gotta prove something in the playoffs or just do something. D-Hop suspended. He'll be back. He's gonna be one to beat us up on our shitty secondary. Hopefully, Jatavius Ward, our new pickup, locks him down. I don't know. Steelers, Colts, okay. Saints, Bucks, alright. Patriots again. These fuckers won't leave me alone. What are we watching them for? Mac Jones, the who? Who's on this fucking team that I'm missing? Do we will watch Cole Strange go out there and fucking lay down a sick block in the 3-4 technique? I don't know. I don't get the appeal of this team currently. Mac Jones. Oh, they got Devontae Parker. Okay, that's a weapon. Jacoby Myers. He's serviceable. Kendrick Bourne. He's a guy. N'Keal Harry is a bust. They drafted Tyquan Thornton. They did reach for him. There's old Cole Strange down there. What am I? They got Jalen Mills. Has he been there for 2 years now? I don't even know. Terrence Mitchell, isn't he the guy from Clemson? I don't get it. This team isn't very good. It's just a very decent. Oh, it's a very mid team. They'll probably end up winning like fucking 9 to 10 games somehow because that's what they do. But on paper, just like who wants to watch this team play football that much? Who knows? I don't fucking care. Rams Packers, good game. Chargers Colts, good game, and Bills Bengals, a good game. So there's all the primetime games are pretty good. There's a couple ones where you look at it, it's like, oh, whoa, 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 what are we doing here? But everything is pretty good. So that's great. Is there any team schedules we want to go over? I mean, there's nothing. It's just like it's a lot. I don't know. I don't remember I remember the Chargers had like that really cool release for their schedule with like all the anime and all the shit and like roasting teams relentlessly like the Urban Meyer shit. That's comedy. I mean, I'm a Chargers fan damn near because of it, but there's no yeah. I'm not gonna really go over like a full team schedule because we'll be here till fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, which it's now 11 for me, if you're wondering. So yeah, I think I'm good on going over the teams. You know, that's good enough. We get a good prime time. I don't think who doesn't have a prime time game. Ooh, that's a good question. I think the Lions are the only team that don't have one. And I think I think what is it? The Jaguars are on like a 14-year or 12-year or something around there streak of never playing on Monday Night Football. That's impressive. That's a good takeaway from all the schedules and shit. But yeah, you know, we went over the primetime games. Maybe on a later date, might be on the NFL channel, might be on this channel. I don't know yet. We'll just do like breakdowns of each division. Maybe do some tier lists. I know people love that shit. Do some list. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I mean, NFL is kind of in a dead state right now. Besides the schedule release, there's just rookie signings, and there's a few veterans that haven't signed yet. But NFL's now, we're past the draft, we're past the free agency. It's just like a dead period until the training camp. So, not a lot to talk about NFL wise, but we'll see what happens if any news breaks. You never know. The NFL doesn't sleep. Moving on, though, to the association. We'll get a little NBA in here. I went over NBA yesterday on the infamous NBA channel, which I'll link if you want to watch me talk about some basketball, which I thought was pretty entertaining. If I say so myself, you can be the judge. Ayton, it says here on this article, I don't know, CBS, by Sam Quinn. So if you hate it, go fucking roast Sam Quinn about it. Don't roast me. DeAndre Ayton did not feel valued by Suns. Is expected to receive a max offer as a free agent. Okay, so I went over this a little bit yesterday. I was thinking like, there's no way he doesn't sign back with the Suns. I was just thinking like, I haven't heard anything about him not wanting to be there. You know, he's just gonna be back. You know, they'll give him a contract. He's a core part of that team. And then I wake up this morning and it seems like it's actually the complete opposite. It seems like he might be going off somewhere else. I don't know what if there's not really any odds out there for where he could go. I couldn't find any. So I mean, what teams could use a really good? I mean, I don't understand how did this happen. He doesn't feel valued. I'll go take a look at his stats. Let me see how fast I can do this shit. Stats, Ayton. Yeah, do a bit of a scroll here. I'll click on him and get a bigger view. He got this year. He went 17-10 with a really nice PER. If you're a PER guy, I'm not, really one of those people. But number one pick, obviously in 2018. Everyone else from this draft class has pretty much got an extension, besides sorry ass Bagley and Ayton. Luca has, Trey has. I think Porter in this one. If so, he has. So I don't know which direction this is going to go, if he's going to end up sorting it out with the Suns and sign, or if he's going to move on. I mean, I don't know which team could. Let me just let me just off the dome this. Let's see what team could use Ayton. The Kings, but they won't fucking get Ayton, so just forget that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the cap situation, so I'm just gonna speak out of my ass. I don't know if anything I'm about to say is even possible, but we'll see. Who could use an Ayton? I mean, him on the Blazers, I guess would be cool. I don't know if they can pull that off. Dame and Ayton. That kind of flows off the tongue. I like things that flow off the tongue. It feels better to say. So Dame and Ayton. That's that flows. So that would be a good fit. The Mavericks do need a fucking center, kinda. I mean, imagine him on the Mavericks, him and Luka getting the dimes, Brunson, Luka, Ayton. That's like a scary trio to think about if they end up signing Brunson to an extension. The Clippers. I mean, I don't see him going to like a rebuilding team or like a mid fucking team. I think I see him going to like a contender. So I'm kind of looking at the contenders right now. I mean, if you want to go like a non-contender who's like there, it's like I guess like the Hornets are kind of there. I mean, if he wants to go to the Lakers and be one of those fucks, I mean, he could do that. I guess I don't. I mean, their cap is so fucked. I don't even know how that would work. But it's people make it work anyway, so I'm sure they could find a way. Maybe if the Jazz trade Rudy Gobert and they free up some cap and they sign him, that'd be interesting. I just don't see him anywhere besides the Suns, which is kind of hard for me to like think about. Um, yeah, I don't. The Nets. The Nets. I mean, their center's like old and washed and shitty. They don't really have a stud. Uh, yeah, I don't fucking know to be honest. I'm just kind of sitting there bringing up every contending team that doesn't have a center off that I could think of. But where would I like to see him go? The Kings. Besides the Kings, biased. Fuck. Oh, I mean the Blazers have Nurkic. Does that even work? Can they get rid of? Is Nurkic still their guy? I don't fucking know. Forgot Nurkic was a player. He got killed 4 years ago by LeBron by that poster, so I forgot he's in the league. Fucking give him to shit. Give him to the Nets. That'll be cool. KD and Aiden and Kyrie. That's a cool trio. I don't. Yeah, there you go. Aiden to the Nets. You heard it here first. When it happens in about 3 months, come back to me and call me a god. Appreciate it. Anything else to talk about with Aiden besides him leaving and getting a max? I mean, a fucking. Is he. I mean, he's good, but a max? That is a fucking lofty ask. For someone who can't shoot, but is like. Just a very solid player. Oh, shit. I don't know. We'll see. This is the last thing I have for the show, but I mean, how long have I been going for? Let me just take a fucking peek here. Like 35 minutes? Yeah, that's not gonna do it. I'll find some shit to fucking talk about. Don't you worry. Um, I'll go over the Super Bowl odds because everything's kind of settled down. There's just a couple of agents that aren't gonna make major changes in the sports books. So we'll go over some of these odds and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions a little bit. I think that'll be fucking electric. The Bills are the favorites in pretty much every sports book. I could see why. A lot of people think they got screwed in this playoffs. Didn't get to touch the ball in overtime. That absolute classic between them and the Chiefs. They didn't have like a great regular season. They just kind of like really gained steam in the playoffs and just were like insane, beating the Patriots by a boatload and having that game against the Chiefs. But if you really take a look back at the regular season, Josh Allen wasn't like a. I mean, he was definitely good, but he was like he had a few games where he was not the greatest. But they're thinking they're gonna carry the momentum from last year, which I guess they don't have any momentum, but like a good loss if that's a thing for in the playoffs. I mean, I could definitely see it. The Buccaneers sit at second. They got Brady back. I'm sure if they didn't have Brady, they'd be somewhere down here with like the fucking Seahawks and Jags. But Brady's back, so they're back up here towards the top. I mean, yeah, it would be just Brady-esque for him to come back after retiring and win a Super Bowl. I mean, that's just something that's very likely to happen. So, I could see why they're this high, and I could definitely see it happening. The Chiefs are always going to be up here with Mahomes. They had a really weird year last year. I mean, Mahomes wasn't Mahomes. He had a lot of like bad plays, just bad throws, a lot of picks early, which we weren't accustomed to. So, I mean, they'll always be here and towards the top for Super Bowl odds. So they could come run it back after the loss to the Bucks, and then last year the loss to the Bengals in overtime, right? And they lost overtime. I'm pretty sure they lost overtime. They got McPherson. I'm pretty sure the Packers, the San Francisco Packers. We own this fucking team. I'm a 49ers fan, so fucking fight me if you're a Packers fan. We own your fraud ass team and that fraud quarterback that you have sitting back there. We're 4-0 against you guys in the playoffs. I mean, that's not rumors. That's a fact. You guys are the number one seed, the proclaimed favorite going to the playoffs. So, who's gonna beat them in Lambeau? It's a cold. Know who's gonna beat you guys in Lambeau? Fucking punt return for a touchdown, and Robbie Gould. Suck a dick. Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, back to back, can go out there and get more than 13 points. What was it? 10 points? What was it? 13-10? Ooh, that's tough. And Lambeau. I'm sure that stings to be by Jimmy G, who's an absolute shit can of quarterback and be won in spite of him. But it's all right. Then the Rams, the defending champions, they brought everyone back. They lost Von Miller, but they gained Wagner, gained Robinson, so they refilled holes. So they're gonna be right back up in there. Niners. I'm actually surprised we're this high, seeing as we don't really know who the quarterback's gonna be. It's just depending if they're high. I mean, I wonder if we announced if Lance was starting tomorrow, if this would drop. I mean, I don't know. I think Lance will be good. He can't be worse than Jimmy G is my whole thing. Like, even if Trey Lance isn't some superstar fucking stud, MVP, winning quarterback, as long as he's better than Jimmy G by an okay margin, and he's like a top 12 to 13 quarterback, that's a fucking score. So all these Trey Lance haters and deniers and people that think he's gonna be a bust, just think about it like this: if he's a little bit better than Jimmy G, which is not saying a whole lot, I'm fucking chilling. So I'm not really on this whole Trey Lance as a bust thing that a lot of Niners fans and people in the media seem to be on, but whatever. Chargers. The one that shocks me the most is the Broncos being this low. Like, I'd have the Broncos damn near like third or fourth. I mean, they have a really good team. They added the biggest position in need to their team, which is the quarterback and Russ. I mean, I think they should be mega favorites up there with the Bills, Bucks, Chiefs, Packers. I mean, below the. I mean, the Niners did make. I mean, I'm a Niners fan. I'm kind of shit on them, but I don't know. I mean, the Broncos team is fucking insane. Getting Lawrence, they had a good draft. Russell, they needed a quarterback. They won 3 straight last year with Vic Fangio, who's like 60 years old and only knows how to coach defense and is a fucking shit can, and he's gone. I don't know. I think the Broncos should be higher. Then you got the Cowboys, who I actually don't think should be this high. I think they took a step back this offseason. Um, they lost Amari. They gained James Washington, I think, from the Steelers. Micah Parsons going to the second year. I mean, could he get any better? I mean, probably. I just don't know if Dak Prescott's really that dude. I don't know if he can win you those games in the playoffs and when it matters. But we'll see. And then the Browns. I think this is just like if Deshaun could play like the whole year. That's probably why the Browns are this high. Because if they're starting Baker, who I don't think will play, or whoever the third string is, like Case Keenum or whatever the fuck, they obviously aren't going to be up here. I think the Ravens are a good value pick. I think they getting Hamilton, getting the center Linderbaum, getting Lamar back. I mean, they did lose their best receiver Hollywood, and I mean they weren't really passing him in the first place, so it's not like losing him is going to be awful. But they definitely aren't going to have the greatest passing game in the world, but they're not really a passing team. I think the Ravens are a pretty good value where they're at for the Super Bowl, if I'm being honest. Then you got the Bengals. They won the Super Bowl last year. I do think they're going to take probably a major. I think a major step back. I don't think they're going to be nearly as good as they were last year. They got hot at the right time, and that's all that really mattered for them. They made it to the Super Bowl. They got it close. They almost won, but ended up losing. I think they're going to take a step back. I could see them making the playoffs, but I don't even know if they win a playoff game. They could win one. And this team's still good. I just don't see him taking the step. I see him taking a couple steps back. But, I could still see him being a really good team. But, we'll see how far that gets. The Colts. I don't hate the Colts at where they're at. Getting Matt Ryan. I mean, he's a bit older. He's not been the greatest. But, I mean, the Falcons' roster has been the greatest. And this might be the best team he's ever been on. All sides of the ball. The O-line, the defense, Taylor in the backfield. He finally has a running game, which he hasn't had in years. Yeah, the only thing that lacks for this team is they need to fucking sign a receiver. Get a Julio Jones, even if he's injury prone. Get someone out there. Because Michael Pittman and the boys is not going to cut it. I mean, we could take a look at the receiving core, and it's not a very pretty sight for Matt Ryan to be throwing the rock around to. I mean, he can make it work. But, I don't know. It's Pittman, Pierce, the rookie, Campbell. I just think they need another, like a good solid number 2. And this team will be dirty. Offensive line's good, of course. Quentin Nelson, the best guard in football. Buckner. They got Ngakoue, Leonard. They got Gilmore. I mean, this team is fucking loaded from top to bottom. They just sort out the receiving core a little bit, and you got yourselves a fucking powerhouse, probably. If Matt Ryan could play to a pretty decent level. I think he's better than what he showed the past few years in Atlanta. Their team hasn't really built a lot around him. All he really had last year was Pitts and Patterson. No one else really showed up besides, and they had like Gage. So whatever, and we'll see what the Colts can do. I'll just speed through a couple of these. Cardinals, I think they're frauds. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do much. They'll probably make the playoffs. Maybe they can finally win one. I don't know. The Eagles are alright. I think Dolphins could be okay value if Tua is like that dude, but I just haven't seen it yet. He got Tyreek, he's got Waddle, he's got fucking weapons everywhere. So if he doesn't do it this year, then when? I think this is like a make or break year for Tua. If he doesn't perform this year and isn't showing improvement, I think they could really see a move off him, or I could really see them moving off him, trading him to some team that needs a quarterback desperately, and maybe drafting one if they fall. We'll see. The Raiders are fucking a bit low for my liking. The Raiders are below the Titans, the Eagles, the Cardinals, and the Dolphins. The, what the fuck? What isn't there to like about this team? I mean, are you just a Derek Carr haters? I mean, he's pretty fucking serviceable. He's a good quarterback. They get, I mean, Davante Adams, Renfro, Marcus Robinson, Waller, Jacobs, Crosby, Chandler Jones. I mean, is there? I mean, their secondary is not bad. Perryman. I don't know what there isn't to really like about this team. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't have them winning the Super Bowl or making it to the title game, but making the playoffs and winning the game, definitely possible. For them to be that low, I mean, they're in a fucking stacked ass division, but I could see all four of those teams making the playoffs. So I don't know. And I think the AFC, fuck, forgetting my divisions. I mean, okay. Let me just go through my playoff teams for sure. My for sure playoff teams: the Bills. Fuck. Yeah, okay, if Deshaun plays the whole season, the Browns I think are should be there. I think the Ravens for me are a lock. I mean, this is all depending on injuries and all that bullshit. The Bengals aren't a lock, but they're right. I mean, they're damn near a lock. So maybe three teams come out of the division. I would take one of them out, either the Browns or the Bengals, depending on what happens if Deshaun doesn't play. If the Bengals take a bit of a step back. I mean, the Dolphins are borderline there. I think the Patriots aren't making it. I think only one team out of the South makes it. I mean, I think the Colts win it and they make it. I don't think the Titans are gonna make it. The Jags are a couple years off. The Texans are like 20 years off. So yeah, I don't. And then the West. Okay, so there's 7 playoff teams, right? Okay, so there's 3 division winners. So I'd have the Colts, Ravens, Bills, and then probably either one of the Browns and Bengals. That's 4. So I mean, in that case, 3 of them are gonna make it. So the Raiders could miss, but because they're all gonna be beating each other up throughout the year. But if they can win their non-divisional games, I could see all 4 of them making it, which would be what, the first time ever. I mean, has it happened before? I have no fucking idea, but not for a very long time. Yeah, I mean, even if they come in last, I could see them making it. I don't know. I guess that's why they're not too high, because they probably are the weakest team in their division, but they're still a really good team, which is probably annoying for them. Like in any other division, I think they have a chance to win it, or not. Like any team in the NFC, like besides like the West, even the West, I think they could have won. Like I think they could win any division in the NFC. I think they could win the East. I think they could win the North. I think they could win the South. But the AFC West, that's a fucking shit draw for where your location of your team is. But yeah, I don't know. The Raiders at that low, don't hate it. The Saints, and everything below everything pretty much below the Raiders, I don't think have a chance. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. I think you could make a case. Like if you're a fan of any team above the Raiders, I think you can make a case for your team to make it all the way and win. So how many teams is that? I'm saying that's one, two, three, four. Wait, fuck. I'm taking the Titans out. Fuck the Titans. I don't think they have a chance. One, two. Even the Eagles is this fucking stretch. Whatever. This is best case scenario for these fucking teams. Besides the Titans, I really don't think they could win. If I'm being honest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So like one more than half the teams in the league, you could probably make a case that they have a chance, which is not bad going into the season. I think there's everything down here. You're kind of looking for future years and rebuilding. Like the Saints, I don't think they're there yet. The Patriots, I don't think are there. Kirk Cousins is shit. Just get him out of my just yeah. The Vikings. I mean, the Commanders maybe could make the playoffs if Wentz is good and their defense is back. Maybe the Steelers, if they start Pickett right away, need some type of fucking stud. Like, I'm trying to make case for these teams, but it's getting real hard. The Giants, I don't think have a chance. Panthers, fuck no. I would have the Panthers like damn near at the bottom. So, Bears, no chance. Jags, no chance. Hawks, no chance. Lions, no chance. Jets, Falcons, yeah. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts. Super Bowl odds. We'll see how it all plays out. Is there anything else we can talk about? Because that's kind of all I fucking got. How long have we been going for? Take a peek. Like 50 minutes. I'll try and get to like an hour or so. Didn't mean to open Spotify. That's on me. Let's take a look. Let's go on ESPN. Do they got anything here? The Stunning and Rapid Fall of Phil Mickelson is just 1 year. I'm into Phil Mickelson. I mean, I don't give a fuck about golf, but Phil, what happened to Phil? Didn't he, like, fucking gamble all his money away or something? A bit of Humble Pie never hurts, new one. Not the Masters, okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Mickelson, but didn't he gamble or something? What the fuck did Mickelson do? I don't really understand. I don't know. We'll just call this part like this. What should this part of the show be called? Just the after hours, the after party, the hangover. We call this like the hangover, where it's like we get off the high of like the good part, and then we just get like the hangover, or like the shit part of the show, where we just sit here and talk about pretty much nothing for a bit. Just have a good old time. Just the hangover. Good movie, by the way. I mean, there's baseball. I'm gonna be doing a baseball show tomorrow. That's a good plug. I'll link it also in the description, along with the NBA channel, where we do like hot and cold. We go over some standings. We go over some teams. So if you're interested in learning about some in MLB, probably not learning about it. I'm sure if you're watching it, you know about it. And if you're gonna learn from anyone, don't watch us, because we're not gonna teach you, because we're fucking pretty dumb ourselves. So just a heads up. But yeah, you could go ahead and watch that. Some entertaining shit. That's the job of these channels, some entertainment. I'm not going to get them the biggest sports analyst you're ever going to find in the world, but, you can go watch some boring fucks in suits talk about sports. You're going to watch people analyze and give base takes, and that's fucking boring. Oh, Pat Bev, that's a good thing to talk about. He went all the ESPN shows and just basically slandered CP3 to death, just saying, like, how shit he is, like he's a fucking cone. I mean, as you'll see in the NBA video if you want to go back and watch that, or if you've seen it, was also kind of digging on Chris Paul, and I'm not a hater. I'm just not a supporter. And Pat Bev basically woke up and chose violence. He was like, "Hey, Chris Paul, you're shit. You're a cone. You know what you do with the cone? They don't move." I don't know. I mean, Pat Bev just went on him for like, just probably like an hour combined. It was pretty good content. He was saying, if I'm going to sleep the night before, I'm going to sleep at 8 o'clock. Don't call me. Don't text me if I'm going against Curry. I gotta be locked in for that next game against Curry. Against Chris Paul, he's going out, he's partying, he's drinking, he's having the night of his life because he's playing Chris Paul tomorrow. That was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that was cool. There's a power rankings that came out 20 hours ago. We'll just skim through this a little bit, take a look at what they have. They got the Bills, the Rams, the Bucks. Some pretty. Where are my Niners at though? 9. They have the fucking Cowboys at 8. What am I missing from this fucking team? I don't know. Player who benefited the most from the draft, Deebo Samuel. Yeah, give me an okay. The Ravens, the Titans. Why? What are we seeing in the fucking Titans? Yeah, Derrick Henry's a fucking monster. They lost their best target for a rookie receiver. And besides Traylon Burks, who do they have? Let me go. Where's another ESPN? Let me pull up another ESPN so I don't have to click around like a fucking scumbag. Where am I at? What team am I looking at? I just had a fucking the Titans. Let me take a look at why we're so high on the fucking Titans. Okay, I'm not a Ryan Tannehill guy. I think they have a damn near better chance with Willis. I mean, we've seen Tannehill, what he can do, where he's at. He's just a fucking mid guy. He played like absolute dog shit in their playoff run, and lost him the game. I don't see anything in Tannehill. Henry coming back off the injury. I mean, he'll be back probably. He'll have a great year if he stays healthy. I mean, Woods and Burks. That's what we're fucking scared of. Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball to, and Westbrook, Akine. I knew how to say his name. I forgot to say his name. Sorry. I mean, it's not like their second string receivers are much better. Dez Fitzpatrick, Kyle Phillips. I mean, oh, they got Austin Hooper. He's regressed a little bit since coming from Atlanta. Did they gain anything on defense? Am I fucking missing something? They got Bud Dupree. Have they had Bud Dupree? I don't think so. I'm gonna say they didn't. And I gotta look now because I don't want to look like an idiot in front of like my tens and thousands of people watching back home. He was a fucking Titan last year. Fuck. Damn it. Because he came off his ACL and got. Oh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see an 11 ranking. Like, who's below him? They got. Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. Now I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Let me just close my eyes and take a deep breath. Now, you're telling me. Hold on a second. Oh, I have some water I can drink just to wet the palate. I'm getting a little dry. Now, you're telling me. You're telling me. You're telling me. Going to the next year. This fucking article guy is taking the Tennessee Titans over the Broncos. You're a sick man, whoever did this. You're a sick, sick fucking man. You're taking the fucking Ravens, the Cowboys, the Bengals over the fucking Broncos. Am I a Broncos dick sucker? Did I just realize right here and here that I'm a Broncos meat writer? Am I missing something? They just gained one of the best quarterbacks in the league at a position they haven't had in years. Remember the last time they did this with Peyton Manning? Oh yeah, they won the fucking Super Bowl. I don't get it. I don't. What am I missing from this team? Is there like a glaring hole? It's like the Broncos, but look at this, the part of their team. It's lacking. I gotta take a fucking peek. Cause now I'm questioning myself. I'm questioning my Broncos love here. They have a 1-2 punch at running back. They have Sutton. They have Judy. They have Patrick. I mean, Russ is gonna make all these players better. Better than fucking Drew Lock or Bridgewater could. I'm sorry. Their tight end, not the greatest. I'm sorry. Albert or whatever the fuck. I mean, their O-line can't be as bad as it was in Seattle. And their defense, they swindled fucking Lawrence from the Cowboys. They got DJ Jones. They got Darby. They got Jackson. They got Simmons. They got Surtain. Singleton. Chubb. And this team right fucking in front of your glaring fucking eyes is worse than the Titans team? Yeah. I mean, that right there I should have clicked off, but I'll keep going to humor myself. The Raiders. Worse than the Titans. Worse than the Titans? The Colts. Worse than the Titans. The Colts aren't the best team in their division. They're saying the fucking Colts aren't the best team in their division. I gotta keep going. Patriots 15. The Eagles are worse than the Patriots. The Browns. The Browns are worse than the Patriots and the Eagles. I mean, even with fucking. I mean, yeah, I get it. The whole fucking Deshaun fiasco. Who knows how that plays out? Even if Deshaun doesn't play the first 5, 6 weeks, I'm taking the Browns over the Patriots. The Dolphins are worse than the Patriots going to the next season on paper. The Cardinals are 19. I mean, I get it. I also think they're fucking frauds, but every year they've taken a step in the right direction and a lot of injuries. I'm not trying to stick up for these fucking people, but I mean, no D Hop. Injured Kyler couldn't really run. Uh, they add Hollywood. They're gonna have Hollywood. They're gonna have D Hop. They're gonna have Green, Moore, Ertz, McBride, Watt, Simmons, Murphy, Baker, and they're fucking worse than the Eagles and the Patriots. And dude, this list is fucking amazing. I'm glad I found this. The Saints. Now at this point, I shouldn't really care because this is all shit, right? Yeah, the Bears are too high. The Vikings might be a couple notches too low. Giants are the Giants. Eagle, yeah, okay. So everything else is pretty agreeable. Yeah, I agree. The Panthers are trash. But dude, some of these fucking takes. I mean, maybe they'll make me look dumb as shit. Maybe they know something I don't about these teams. But are you fucking serious? The Titans at 11? What the fuck have they done besides regress? They got rid of their best receiver for a rookie. Is he good? They think this Traylon Burks guy is gonna be the next coming of Julio fucking Jones? I man, I'm sorry, Titans fans out there. I sound like the biggest hater of all time. But I mean, you guys are a good team. I mean, I said you guys might have a chance to make the playoffs. Is that not good enough with Ryan fucking Fraud in the backfield catching hikes? Shit. Hey, I don't mean to come off as a big Titans hater, but that's I guess what I am now. I guess I'm a certified put my fucking flag in the ground Titans hater. I guess I'll ride and die on that hill. That was a good article. Is there any ones in there gonna speed? Is there any other spicy articles in there? Um, the A's. Look at all these fucking A's fans. These little kids have no idea what type of poverty, fucking shitty ownership, fucking dog fucking ass team they're rooting for. Whoever all these kids' parents are should be fucking ashamed that they didn't choose the Giants over the A's. Fucking ashamed. Whoever these parents are, hang your heads in shame. Walk the plank. LeBron did a Q&A. He says he stands up playing with Bronny. He answered a bunch of shitty questions. See, he said cake was better than pie, and I almost fucking became the biggest LeBron hater of all time off that tweet. But I'll just let it be. I mean, the hockey's happening. I mean, I'm not a hockey guy. I know the Leafs are just like the biggest frauds in hockey. They can't make it out the first round, and they're like out of this stacked team with like the best player in hockey, and they still can't win. Oh, the Lightning are going for the three-peat. I mean, when's the last time a team has three-peated in a major sport? Couldn't tell you. So the Lightning are going for that. We got the Panthers. I'm pretty sure everyone's on the Avalanche's dick. They swept the Predators, and people are saying they're like the team to win it all this year. Um, yeah, we'll see. They got the Oilers. They got like the Street old guy, McDavid. They got Kane off my Sharks. So they got a good team. The Flames, the Battle of Calgary or some shit. Alberta, one of the places in Canada. Rangers, Hurricanes. I'll give my pick right here. There's 8 teams left. Let me see who's gonna win it all. I'll tell you right now who's gonna win it all. This is the not hockey expert, by the way. Might I add? Who's winning the Stanley Cup? You say? Hmm. Hmm. Fuck it. Give me the Oilers. Oilers are going all the way. Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton? They're the Edmonton, right? Yeah, they're definitely Edmonton. Yeah, they're winning the cup. So for all you hockey gurus out there, I'm sorry I spoiled what's gonna happen, but the Oilers winning the cup. So there's no point of watching, but continue if you must. In the UFC world, Rakic and Blachowicz fought. Rakic tore his ACL, unfortunately, in that fight. That's tough. Nothing else. I didn't really watch this card. I was had other priorities this day. I'm apologizing for not watching a pretty mid fight night card. But Blachowicz wins with that. I didn't see who was winning originally. I think Blachowicz might have been winning the first couple rounds anyways. But unfortunate to see an injury end a fight, and he'll be out for probably about around a year. Anything else out there? I mean, kind of covered a lot. I feel like it's a pretty good episode for not having a lot to talk about other than I thought. But I covered a few things. Yeah, hockey, NBA, NFL schedules. Yeah, looks like I covered it all. All right. Well, not a bad episode. Around a little bit more than an hour. Infamous Sports Talk, episode 4. Thanks to you guys for listening. If you are listening, if you made it this far, which none of you probably did. So at this point, I'm probably talking to myself. But maybe if this blows up one day, and I'm averaging like a fucking 100,000 viewers per episode, and everyone wants to go back from the beginning and watch the first few episodes and see how shit they were, and you're here rewatching it, aren't you glad I fucking made it? I'm talking to my future self now. And aren't you glad? Now I'm talking to the past people who came back, and now you're watching this. And you're like, holy shit, look how far this guy's come. Now he's like a millionaire and lives in a cool house with this cool studio and has all this cool shit. And he has this big fancy fucking sports show that's rivaling Pat McAfee, and he's got like a $10 million trillion DraftKings deal. So when you're watching this, and I'm on, what episode am I gonna be on when you guys are watching this back? I'm probably on like episode like 390. Remember this right here, episode 4. Think about it. I'll leave you with that. I'll see you next week for Infamous Sports Talk, and I'll see you later.